Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're actually going to be solving a technical issue that I have seen quite a bit on the internet. I recently built my girlfriend's computer and I ran into this issue as why this whole process came to be. I kept getting the error when I tried to download Sims for her and download the Origin launcher, and it kept saying we didn't have VC runtime 140.dll and a couple other DLLs. And I had actually experienced that issue before on my computer and needed to fix it. And I had to watch a couple YouTube videos and stuff like that. And there's tons and tons of ways that you can fix the errors like this. A lot of these fixes also fix the error code that's like 0x00007B. A couple errors like that says like Windows couldn't launch the program properly, it failed to launch the program. Basically what that's saying is a lot of the times, especially for games and new software that you download, it does not have the proper code packages to communicate with Windows software, and so it throws up an error saying that it can't start, and you need those DLL packages to be able to communicate with each other, for the game and Windows to communicate with each other. So the first issue to solving that problem is to go to sites like this. If you're getting the message when you try to launch the game or application and it tells you you're missing a DLL like VC runtime 140.dll, just Google it and you'll find a page like this where you can download it. And you'll look up, you can just scroll down through all this. So what you want to do is you want to verify which Windows system you're operating on. So to check if you're on 32-bit or 64, you can go to your settings and then go to system, and then you go down to about, and then it'll tell you that I am running Windows 10 Pro and it is on a 64-bit operating system. So then you know right here which system type you have. Most people, you're gonna have a 64-bit system. You don't usually have 32-bit. If you have 64-bit, what you're going to want to do is go down to the bottom, look at these download files. This one's for 32-bit, this one's for 64. If you have a 32-bit system, you are just going to download this file right here, just 32-bit. You're going to download it, that's all you need. And it's going to download it for you. You're going to take this, put it on your desktop, wherever you need to, save it for later. If you're 64-bit, you need to download the 32-bit file and the 64-bit file. You're going to need both of those, because for 64-bit users, you still in your Windows folder have the 32-bit folder, so it needs both to run. So you're going to save both of those. So I know that this is my 64-bit, this is my 32-bit. You need to memorize where they go, or else you're going to get yourself mixed up, and it's going to throw a different type of issue when you try to download these. So I've just extracted the 32-bit folder and 64-bit. All you need to do is just right-click them on the zipped version, and then there'll be a option up here that says extract all, and you just extract it to your desktop. So you have folders that you can open, and as you can see, it now just has that .dll file. Don't worry about the readme text, that's just for extra stuff. You don't need to worry about that. What you need is the file. So this is my 32-bit folder that I have open here. So what you want to do is I'll restart this for you so you guys can see exactly the path. You're going to go to your user drive. So whichever drive has this little icon on it, it's the little Windows icon, is where Windows is installed. Usually if you just have one drive, it's obviously going to be on that drive, but it's usually the C drive. So you'll go there, click on that drive, go in the folder that says Windows, and then you scroll down to find System32 and SysWow64. If you are a 32-bit user, you are just going to see SysWow64. I know it's a little backwards. This is the 64-bit folder right here, System32. This is the 32-bit folder, SysWow64. So if you're just 32-bit, that's your folder. If you're 64, you have both of these. So for the 32-bit, you're going to want to open up SysWow64. You're going to then take this VC runtime.dll. This is my 32-bit, and If you already have it, replace it, that's fine. Just click replace the file in the destination. It's going to ask you for administrator permission. Just click continue. So sometimes when you try to place that DLL folder in here, like what just happened to me, you're going to get an error message that says, even though you provided permission, it says you need permission to do this from the syswow64 folder. And that's because it's a little finicky sometimes when you mess with these Windows folders. They can get mad, especially when you have programs open. So if that happens to you, just make sure all your programs are closed. Try restarting your computer. Don't run anything else before you try doing this. Just try doing it right away. But for most of you, it should just let you copy it in there, replace it. And if it's in there, this probably isn't the issue that's throwing up that error for you. If you are a 64-bit user, because I was having that issue and I already had the VC runtime in my 32-bit folder, but in the 64-bit folder, it was missing. So I then placed the VC runtime.dll in here, and then it worked, and I could download Origin, I could run Sims. That's what fixed my issue. And you just do the same thing again. This is for the 64-bit, so you go to System32, replace the file in the destination, continue. See, it's going to get mad at me because all my programs are open and because it's trying to run different things. I don't need to worry about it because I already have VC runtime installed. I was going to, for demonstration purposes, move it out, but to run my recording software, it itself actually needs 140.dll, so I couldn't demonstrate it not working. But when I tested it and moved it out, it would say, if I tried to run any program, that it was missing that file, the .dll file. So you've finished that phase. For me, that fixed the issue. You just have to make sure that you put the 64-bit in System32 and the 32-bit in syswow64. And do this for any files that it says you're missing this .dll. Do that for any of them. And then it should, one by one, you're taking care of the files that it needs. And that should fix a lot of the issues. If you put them in the wrong folder, it's going to throw up a new error that's like the 0x0007b, which just means that now it has found those files. They're not missing because you did put them in there, but it's trying to run 64-bit .dll file in a 32-bit folder. It messes it up. So you have to make sure you put them in the right folder. The next solution you can try to do is download DirectX. So you definitely need to do this. This is one of the main things you should do first as well. So you can come here, I'll put the links in the description for all of these. So you're going to download this in English, download it for Windows, it'll start the setup right away. And you're going to say yes, let it, remove that, accept it, keep moving on. This is an opinion, you don't have to do this. I don't want to do it, but it doesn't matter if you do or don't. So once you're done with that, you can click finish once it's finished installing all those, and then you're finished with that solution. And then you move on to the next one, which is to install all of the Visual Studio packages for Microsoft. You need these to run a lot of programs because they also come with a lot of the packages for the softwares to communicate with Windows. So again, the link will be in the description for this site. What you want to do is you want to, this by 84, or by 86, sorry, is for 32-bit. And then by 64 is for 64-bit. So if you are on a 64-bit system, you are going to download both of these. 32-bit, just download this one. And then this, you can download it just to be safe, but it's just a package for mobile stuff. It's not that important. It's for 64-bit mobile stuff, but it won't hurt you if you download this as well. And then continue to go through this, click this link here, download the English version for the 64-bit if you have a 64-bit system, and then also if you have a 64-bit, this English here. So you want to download both of these, both English versions. If you're just the 32-bit, just download this English version there. And then also do, for the last one, download the 2010. So you want to click this link right here, this one down here. Don't do this one because it'll take you to a login page and you don't want to mess with that. This one down here will open up this page. Then you click download. If you're a 32-bit, just this one. If you are 64, check all of them. And then click next, download all of them. And then the Google is gonna ask you if you want to download multiple files. Click allow on that, or else you're just gonna get one of those files you just try to download. So then you're gonna run each and every one of these, and also the ones that you had downloaded from this. You're gonna run these executables so they install on your computer. I already have them installed, so I'm not gonna do it. But all you do is just click yes, click next on it all, and then it's gonna download it for you and finish. You can check if it's installed if you go to your search bar here and you click add, and it'll say add or remove programs. And then it tells you all your programs that you have installed. And then right here, as you can see, I already have all the Microsoft Visual C++ packages installed for all the years. So you make sure you got all those installed, and that's good to go. And then you've gone through with that solution. The next issue that's a little bit weird is running old games on Windows. And it's a little bit finicky to do this. Like Fallout 3, I tried to play that recently, and whenever I'd open it, it would always keep crashing on me. So there's this thing called Game for Windows Live, and you can just click this top link. It'll download it for you. You can run through with this installation here. Once it finishes, it's going to ask you to log in. Don't log in. It's finicky and they don't really support it anymore. Just download it and don't log in, and you click close on that page and forget about it. This just helps it. Again, those old Windows programs communicate with new Windows. Another solution you can try for running old games is you go to where you have it installed. Like for me, Fallout 3 is here. If you have Steam, you can just easily right-click the game, click Open File Location, and it'll take you to it. So you go to wherever you have the game installed, and then for the launcher and the executable here, you're just going to right-click it, click Properties, and then Compatibility. This is the page that you want to be. So it helps when you run it as administrator, and then you can also check the Run this program and compatibility mode for, and then you can try these different windows. I had it on Windows Vista for Fallout 3, and it was working. So it runs it basically as like an old game, and it knows. And then you just click Apply here, and then it should work. It's a little weird, I know. Windows 10 has not made it easy to run older games at all, but that should help it. Same with all these other fixes that you're going through. The other option you can try is to download .NET Framework. Link will also be in the description. You just download the most recent one here. Click on it. Download .NET Framework. Runtime. It's right here. It'll download for you. Run that executable. Go through with it. Click next. And then finish it, and then it's just installed for you. And then the final thing here, there's this pack. If you're getting this error code, this pack is a package of DLL files that can help you fix the issue that might be throwing up that issue if they're missing. So you just click on this link and click download, and then you'll get a zip file. Put it on your desktop, extract it like normal, and then you have this Windows, and it tells you, has both of the folders, has them separated for 64-bit. This is for 32-bit, this is for 64. So you'll just go back to your Windows folder that you had open. Oh. Navigate back to your user folder, Windows, and then you've got System32 here and sysfile64. Don't just throw the folders in there, open them up, and then grab all of the DLL files. So we're in System32, so I would move this and put them in a System32. Drag them in there and say replace all the files. That's fine. Skip it. Do all that, and that's good, and they've installed. And then do the same thing for sysfile64. And then that's a lot of the major fixes for all the issues of old games running on Windows 10 or getting those DLL missing files. You'll just download whichever one it says you're missing. Just Google it, download it, put it in the folder that you need to for the program, and then it should fix it. And then make sure you just have these different things installed already, and you never have to deal with those again. And that fixed all the issues I had with running old games like Fallout 3 or running Sims, missing DLL files, stuff like that. So that should work. There's a lot of issues that throw those kind of errors, and then there's also a lot of different solutions. I believe I've covered the main ones. If you guys can think of any others, please leave it in the description, or any other small ones, any other big ones, whatever, and I'll be happy to look at them. Feel free to comment, help other people out, whatever they need it. I realize these issues can be really frustrating and annoying to deal with, and they're pretty finicky, but this should fix a lot of the issues that everyone was running into with this error. And I hope I helped you guys. Hope this helped. Let me know if I missed anything, or if you guys want me to run through anything again. And I'll see you guys next time.